Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Concern Podcast, where we unpack political, social, economic, and cultural stories shaping our world. I am Emmanuel Taban. So, the Ugandan presidential election or the general election is done. Results are declared. Museveni is met the winner. But the most important thing also I want us to look at is how the legislative position or the election for the parliamentarians went on. I mean, there's so many new boys and girls that have actually come into the political space through this election, and also the other old men or seasoned politicians who are displaced. So in this video, I want to take us through some of the people or members of parliament who are actually able to win or retain their positions, and some of them who lost their positions and are displaced through this election. In this video, mainly I want us to take us through this. So one of the members of parliament who has retained his seat is the Metiana Municipality Member of Parliament, Francis Zake, under Noob ticket. Zake ran under the National Unity Platform and he has retained his ticket. Number two is Geoffrey Lutaya for Kakuto County, that is in Nyotera district. He ran under National Unity Platform ticket, but he failed to secure a win. He was defeated in this election. In other words, Geoffrey Lutaya was defeated in this election. He ran under the National Unity Platform ticket. And the third one is Fred Nyanzi. Fred Nyanzi is Bob Wine's eldest brother, and he also ran under the National Unity Platform ticket for Kawempe South seat, but he did not actually get that position. He was defeated, I think, by an NRM candidate. So Chairman Fred Nyanzi did not get that position in the Kawempe South, and he was defeated. And also Same Malende under Noob ticket for Kampala Woman Member of Parliament. She has retained her position. It's called Mama Kampala. Same Malende ran under the National Unity Platform ticket, and she was also the National Unity Platform Member of Parliament for Kawempe North, and this time around again, she has retained her position. There was a very strong race in these within the National Unity Platform, but finally, the National Unity Platform settled on Same Malende, and she is able to deliver that seat from Kampala Woman Member of Parliament, retaining it, and she is a winner of this parliamentary race in Kampala district, or in Kampala. Another winner again for the National Unity Platform is Abdallah Kiwanuka for Mukono North. Abdallah ran under the National Unity Platform ticket, and he was able to attain or to get that seat there for Mukono North constituency, that is in Mukono district. Abdallah is a winner of this parliamentary race in Mukono North. He got that win, and he is now a member of parliament under the National Unity Platform in this upcoming parliament. Another guy who was able to secure a win is Chairman Mao. Norbert Mao of the DP party got his position. He retained his seat for Laro Peace, and he is now a winner of this race there in Laro Peace constituency. And Norbert Mao is also the Minister of Justice, I think, in the current regime under Museveni. And because they had a working relationship, DP and NRM, they couldn't even front a presidential candidate, and they side away from that. They let Museveni run for it, and Norbert Mao has retained that seat of Laro Peace. He could probably be reappointed again as a minister. That's something that we don't know, but yeah, Norbert Mao has retained his seat for Laro Peace constituency. Another winner again for the National Unity Platform is Muwanda Kunyingi of the National Unity Platform. He ran for Chadondo County, Chadondo East, and he is declared the winner of that constituency seat. And remember, this is the position that actually introduced Bob Wine to politics. When the by-election in 2017 was held, Bob Wine ran for Chadondo East vacant parliamentary seat through that by-election that made him actually come to parliament. Therefore, this will explain why Chadondo East has a very strong history to the National Unity Platform. And so many people would always expect that the National Unity Platform candidate would always win that seat because there's a very strong connection there. So Mwanda is the winner for that constituency. And the next person who has retained his seat is the outspoken Joel Senyonyi of the National Unity Platform. Joel Senyonyi is the leader of opposition in the previous parliament. He is a spokesperson of the National Unity Platform, and he ran for the Nakawa West parliamentary seat. And this time around, Joel Senyonyi has retained his seat. He is re-elected again as the Member of Parliament representing Nakawa West constituency. This is a very huge one that Joel Senyonyi is able to come back. He has been a very, very prominent figure for the National Unity Platform, and especially in the Parliament. I mean, giving sleepless night to the Speaker and the government members of Parliament. He's a very good guy, and I'm very happy that Joel Sunyoni was able to retain his seat, being re-elected as a member of Parliament for Nakao West constituency. Congratulations to him there. Very, very, very important win there for the National Unity Platform. And another shocking win for the National Unity Platform again is the winner George Musisi, who ran under the National Unity Platform. And this time, George Musisi went and challenged a seasoned politician for Kira municipality, and that's none other than Ibrahim Semuju Uganda. So George Musisi was able to win this parliamentary race, displacing the seasoned member of parliament, Ibrahim Semuju, and it's just one of the most shocking parliamentary race in the whole country. I mean, this new fellow here displacing Semuju, a very seasoned politician. I mean, this is a very huge one for the National Unity Platform, a huge one. Meanwhile, Mwanga Kivumbi for the National Unity Platform for Butambala District parliamentary race, he's actually the deputy president for the National Unity Platform, I think for Central or Western like that. So he was defeated in this race. He couldn't attain his Butambala District position, so he was defeated in this race here. That is Mwanga for you. Now, another guy who was defeated is Matthias Puga for Nyendo Mukungwe constituency. I mean, he ran as, I think, under the DF, but he was defeated in this race. Remember, Matthias Puga has some kind of a problem with the National Unity Platform, especially when they allocated for themselves some huge amount of money, about 400 million in the parliament for the chairpersons of some committees, and therefore they started having issues since that time, and therefore I think this is one of the major reasons that has led to his defeat in Nyendo Mukungwe constituency. Then therefore Matthias Puga was unable to retain his seat. He got displaced and he lost this election. I mean, so many people were happy with this, and they should actually give him a lesson that if you try to corrupt taxpayers' money, you have no place to be given in any responsible position. So this is a very good lesson for Matthias Puga. He got a very good message there. Defeated, he couldn't retain his seat. Very good one there. And another person who was unable to get that position is David Lewis Ruboya, who is the SG, the Secretary General for the National Unity Platform. He ran for the Kampala Central Constituency Member of Parliament, but he couldn't get that. He was defeated, I think, by an NRM candidate. But I think this would have been a very, very important win for the National Unity Platform. Imagine a parliament where David Lewis is there as a member of parliament, Joel Senyonyi is there, and Francis Zakia there. I mean, that could be a very, very important and very good parliament there. But unfortunately, David Lewis was unable to get that position there, and he is still going to remain the Secretary General of the National Unity Platform. A very important position. I've been playing a very prominent role for the National Unity Platform there. So he got defeated in that race. So another winner for the National Unity Platform who was able to retain his seat is John Baptist Nambeshe. He ran for the Majia County for Bududa constituency, Majia County constituency, Bududa district. And under the National Unity Platform ticket, John Baptist was able to retain his position as a member of parliament for Manjia County. And that is also another important win there for the National Unity Platform, that John Baptist was able to retain his seat. I know it was a good one there for him and the National Unity Platform in general. Another guy who was defeated and unable to retain his seat is Medad Lubega Segona. He was denied a ticket under the National Unity Platform, and therefore he decided to go independent into this race for Busiro County East, and therefore he went to these elections without the blessing of the National Unity Platform and the blessing of Robert Chagulaji, and therefore that was seen as a resistance against the National Unity Platform, and therefore he was defeated in this raid. He went as an independent member of parliament after being denied a ticket, but he was unable to deliver. He got defeated there. That is Segona for you. An Iron Lady, Betty Namboze, for Mukono Municipality and the National Unity Platform was declared the winner. She was able to get that position, very, very important. I mean, Namboze has been playing a very important role in the National Unity Platform. She has been a very strong supporter of Bob Wine and the National Unity Platform. Therefore, it could only be fair that she got this position there for the National Unity Platform. That is a big win there as well for Betty Namboze, but also for the National Unity Platform there. An Iron Lady, a very outspoken one. Kudos. Also, Jane Asheng Shero, Dr. Jane, who was the Minister of Health, he won the position for Lira City Woman Member of Parliament under the National Resistance Movement, NRM. She was declared the winner
And I know it's very important win also for the NRM there and for Jane Acheng. So has retained her seat and she'll probably again be reappointed as a Minister of Health. That's something that we will see if it will happen at all. But that is a very good win there for the NRM party and Jane Acheng. Now, this is one of the most shocking win. I mean, in northern Uganda, in Arua Central Division, FDC candidate, that is Muzaid Kamis, was able to retain his seat, I mean, as a member of parliament for Arua Central Division under FDC ticket. I mean, this is a very huge one. I was expecting that an NRM candidate would win that race, but FDC was able to deliver. This is a huge one there for FDC, especially a party that has been disappearing from being a prominent. I mean, this is a very good win there for Muzaid Kemis and the people of Arua Central and FDC in particular. Very win there. Muzaid was able to get that seat. And of course, the race that was able to shock the entire country is when Ibrahim Semu Uganda for PFF, Kira municipality, was unable to retain his seat for Kira municipality. He got defeated by the National Unity Platform candidate, that is George Musisi. Ibrahim has been a very seasoned politician, outspoken in parliament and in debates and in radio in TV talk show. But this time around, things have failed to work for him. He failed to attain or to retain his seat for Kira municipality and got displaced by one man, George Musisi, for the National Unity Platform. And another win is for Moses Ali, the NRM candidate for Adjumani West, member of parliament. So this could be the oldest guy who is running. He's the deputy prime minister. I think the second deputy prime minister. He ran for Adjumani West and he got the endorsement of President Museveni and he was able to regain his seat. Moses Ali for NRM for you, Adjumani West. He was able to retain his seat, the oldest member of parliament, I would say. This is a very good one for the national, for the NRM, but for Moses Ali and the people at Jumani West, I don't know if that is the kind of person they want to be the member of parliament. I don't know how long he's going to continue being a member of parliament at that age, but that is a good one there for them. Another important win for the National Unity Platform is Elias Nalukola for the National Unity Platform. He ran for the Kawempe North constituency. This is a very good guy. I mean, he's a lawyer by profession. We've seen how great he has been doing representing people in court. And this is a very important win for the National Unity Platform and Kawempe North constituency. Remember, in the by-election that was held last year, there was a kind of tension between the NRM candidate Farida and Nalukola. But this time around, he has been given a very clean win. The people of Kawempe and Noop, this is a very huge one that a new addition on the block is being fronted to the parliament. A very good one there for Nalukola and the National Unity Platform.
So thank you so much. This is the Concern Podcast. Until next time, I'm Emmanuel Taban. But before we close, I will give you the ads. Before we close today's episode, here's a quick message from our sponsor, Wanit.co. If you've been planning to build a website, but the cost has been holding you back, Wanit.co makes it affordable and stress-free this time around. Whether you are an individual, a non-profit organization, or a business, Wanit.co designs professional websites starting from as cheap as $250. Individuals can actually launch with a starter website of up to 7 pages and a free email, or choose an advanced option with unlimited pages, a professional portfolio, and branding support. For non-profit organizations, they can select flexible packages from basic websites to premium solutions with e-commerce features and ongoing support. And for business companies, Wanit.co delivers company-ready website with hosting, staff training, and multilingual options and online stores. And the best part of it is actually that you can build your dream website within your budget. Wanit.co is an affordable, accessible, and professional partner. And to get started, you can actually visit Wanit.co or email them at info@wanit.co, or you can get in touch with them through their WhatsApp number at +1 226 504 3322. Wanit.co, proudly affiliated with Jobs to Apply. And if you're wondering of what I'm talking about, here are some samples of website created by Wanit.co. You can see them right here.